People who have worked the drive-thru. What's the weirdest thing you've seen in someone's car? 2 guys naked on a bench seat. Driver made sure to tell me they weren't gay. A car pulls up. And all 4 people are just completely naked. Just casually chilling. My gym teacher. Drunk. He started eating the tacos at the drive-thru window. He was there for over 5 minutes. Just eating. I saw him the next day in school. We both acted like nothing happened. Only worked drive-thru for a year, but the weirdest thing I saw was an alpaca in a minivan. They asked at the window if they could order some apple slices for the alpaca. I just gave them 2 packs on the house. Dude had a full-on sex doll dressed up in his passenger seat. Sunglasses. Dress and even a hat. I couldn't even tell it was fake until I asked for their order. Coworker and I looked at each other simultaneously and we both said, "Was that a sex doll?" This is in a wealthy area of my city as well, so it was definitely a first. Not seen. But I heard a blowjob taking place over the headset. It was a location open 24/7, so we had to reset the tills for 10 minutes every evening at 11 p.m. so people would just sit in their car and wait. Most people don't realize that we could hear everything. The speakers don't turn off while the vehicle is there. Someone threw a fish at me once. Didn't order anything. Just a drive-by fish attack. Had a customer come through with a giant grandfather clock in the back seat. The thing was so huge it was sticking out the side window. Which just so happened to be on the left side of the car. Which meant dude couldn't get close enough to the window to reach his food and had to step out. Cursing the whole time. Someone pulled a gun on my brother because the salsa containers weren't completely full. You can get as many as you want for no extra charge. This is a recent headline from Arizona. Where I live. Man, 70, was arrested with the body of his dead wife in his car after a stunned worker at a Carl's Jr. drive-thru in Arizona spotted him wearing only his underpants with the naked corpse upside down in the passenger seat. I worked at a Tim Hortons and once saw an old lady with like 50 cartons of eggs in her car. I made a joke saying, "Looks like you could make your own breakfast." And she got real straight-faced and said, "Oh honey, those aren't eggs." Still have zero clue what else you would store in egg cartons. 2 guys were hotboxing and decided to come to the drive-thru. They did not stop smoking even when they pulled up to the window. I swear a cloud of smoke rolled out the window when they lowered it to pay. They offered me a hit and I politely declined. Edit. For everyone asking. This was in mid-Michigan in 2005-ish. I was working the drive-thru at Burger King in a snowstorm. Driver orders a Coke with no ice. When I hand them the Coke, they empty it a bit, break off a couple icicles hanging from the car, put in the Coke, and drive off without saying a word. ETA, holy crap. What a way to wake up. Thank you. Guy pulls up. I look in the backseat and there's a dude with all 4 fingers wedged up this lady's vagina. She was not wearing anything below the waist. I had to double look just to make sure I wasn't crazy, and that is when the dude turned his head and gave me a dead stare into my eyes, like he was trying to intimidate me. Very awkward and I did not know how to act. The entire car was filled with trash. Like legitimately up to ceiling in the back seat and up to shoulder height in the passenger seat. I was so stunned I nearly forgot to give them their food. A woman drinking a tall boy of Budweiser. It was 5:30 in the morning at a Starbucks. There's also a guy that takes his 3 dogs for rides. They ride in buckled seats and wear goggles so the wind doesn't hurt their eyes. Edit to add. The lady drinking the beer was driving. Don't fucking drink and drive. Guys. I used to see someone come through with a lifelike mannequin in their passenger seat. I asked about it and turns out they did it to use the commuter lanes on the highway. You must have more than one person in the car or cop a fine. Either the guy sitting with a dog in his passenger seat and a coyote and a deer chilling in the back. Or the woman wearing just a bra. But that one is more traumatizing. The driver had a comically large dildo in the passenger seat. He'd buckled it in and put a hat on it. My little sister used to work at a local Wendy's. A woman came through the drive-thru one day with either a pet or a service animal. That animal happened to be a monkey. Does a naked man with bags from Burger King and Taco Bell already count as a thing? Had a drunk guy come through drive-thru. A cop car was in line right behind him. Told the cops about the drunk guy. He was blitzed and was going to kill someone. Cops said they knew as they were planning on pulling him over before he turned in and went to the drive-thru. They decided they were hungry and decided to get food too before pulling him over. They stayed at the back window and had us give them their food first so they could follow him out. Pulled him over in the parking lot, was kind of entertaining. There was this really cute blonde girl that would always come through the drive-thru naked on Saturday nights. Every now and then she would have another friend with her. We always knew when it was her by the constant giggles coming from her car as she ordered. We always had weird customers. Being it was the world's largest McDonald's located in Orlando, Florida. An order for 88 Big Macs or 120 cheeseburgers was not out of the ordinary though. There is one guy who drives a hearse. It was a car that ran well and he could afford it. So when a teenager pulls up to the window in his hearse you get a little shocked. I also saw someone with a chicken, complete with a harness and leash. It was cute. This girl used to come through with like 3 dogs. I finally asked her, "Do you have to feed these beasts?" And she explained that she just walks and grooms them. Well, one day she came through the drive-thru with like 15 dogs and she screams through the intercom. My business finally took off. And got a bunch of chicken tacos for them. Come to think of it, I think she may have been trying to flirt with me. Damn. This dude pulled up and his girlfriend or whatever was almost entirely naked on the seat next to him. Sleeping. When he pulled up, he saw my shocked expression. Pulled her thin jacket, the only thing on her body besides the seatbelt, to cover her nipple and asked for some ketchup. He was shockingly casual. Ooh, finally I have something. I worked at a McDonald's in a small town in Michigan. Think 2 stoplights. And when the car pulled up to the front window, they had a whole baby kangaroo in their lap. I don't know where they got that from or why. But the closest zoo was 2 hours away. I was working a McDonald's drive-thru in a small town in Michigan. This truck goes through, pays and pulls forward to get its meal. Then a chicken jumps out of the back. I yell for the next car in line to stop. But she looks confused and ends up running over the chicken. It's not dead but it's a wreck. She looks at me and we're both in tears. She says she has 2 and I say, no. She puts it on reverse and backs over the chicken again. Another employees had to get a shovel and scoop up the dead chicken from the drive-thru. I worked at Domino's and one lady used a hand-crocheted blanket to keep her pizzas warm. Kept the blanket in the front seat and draped it over the boxes. I crochet, so I know how much work went into that blanket. I admit I have gone through the drive-thru with sheep in my backseat. It was either the 12-year-old driving or the lady in a right-hand drive car. The fact she had the audacity to get mad at me because I couldn't reach her money. Weird but cute. Worked at a drive-thru coffee shop about 10 years ago. Lady came through the drive-thru with a baby squirrel in her pocket. Let me hold it and everything. Imager. Comp 2BG 5 grams by 2. JPG. 4-foot hookah. Prepped and ready to go.